Hey guys, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. What I've got today is a really cool new product from Paria Outdoor Products, and we're going to get into that here in just a second. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about what we're actually going to be doing. I've got a tarp with me, the Paria Sanctuary SilTarp, which you have seen before in other videos. But before we talk about the tarp adjustable poles that have been sent to me, I want to talk about why you would even consider using an adjustable tarp pole versus a trekking pole to set up your tarp. So if you're using a pole like this, that is a 3-section pole that collapses down really small, really cool product, you are limited in your tarp versatility, because once I connect these 3 sections of the pole together, I lose a minimum amount of height that I might want to be able to adjust my tarp to, because this is now a fixed length for me to be able to have height-wise on my tarp. And the issue with that is, if I am in inclement weather and I want to lower my tarp height, spread it out a little bit, and kind of protect myself a little bit more, I don't really have the option with a tri-fold type pole like this. The other option for you in a trekking pole is to get a 3-section pole that collapses down into itself with the flick lock system, which tons of poles do that. That gives you a lower minimum length, but what if you're somebody that doesn't like to carry trekking poles, but you still want to have a minimalist type system? Insert the Paria Outdoor Products adjustable tarp poles. These are aluminum poles that give you from 32 inches of minimum height to 72 inches, or if you want a single pole, you can attach them and get up to 12 feet. So you're looking at a minimum of 14 ounces if you want to carry less of the poles, basically 3 sections, or you're a max of 28 ounces. Now I understand that this is not necessarily the most ultralight type approach, especially for a tarp setup, but this is a really cool option because you've got a really strong pole that is meant for being set up by a tarp. On one end you've got a nice rubber foot, and then on the top end you've got a little post that allows you to slide this into the guy out points, and then you have 3 sections here that give you the versatility and adjustment that you are looking for. So you can see on like this pole, you've got a ton of different holes to be able to slide this up and down depending on what kind of height you want for your tarp. So it's a really cool way to get more versatility in your tarp setup. Some of the other things that you could consider are, if you are going to carry trekking poles, you could also carry these poles with you and get even more options for your tarp setup. If you want to have it set up in a porch mode, then you've got the ability to do that. You've got a lot of options instead of trying to find different sticks or things to be able to give you that versatility. But keep in mind that you are carrying extra weight and space with these, but if weight and space is not something that you're too concerned about, I definitely recommend these poles for you to check out. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna set up the tarp, show you how they go together, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so now I've got the tarp set up with kind of the minimum height that you would see most often with these adjustable tarp poles. You can see here on the ground I've got the other 4 sections for the 2 poles, and that'll give you an idea of how much added length you can get in the poles. But what we're looking at here is kind of the ideal setup for me on how I would want to use these adjustable poles. So I could leave those other 2 sets behind and save a bunch of weight, and this gives me kind of a ideal type of A-frame pitch. And I do have the option, if I want to remove the foot pole with the rubber end, and I could lower that to the ground even more. So just a ton of options with these poles, and they work really well with the Sanctuary SilTarp. It's the winter right now. It's hard to get stakes into the ground. It's not the ideal setup for tautness and such, but I'm just working around what I have to work with. But here is the other pole. So like I said, guys, you are working with a minimum length of 32 inches, which is the 3 sections you see there. Max length of 72 inches, so just over 6 feet. And then you've got a minimum weight of 14 ounces, so just under a pound for the 2 sections. For the 3 sections for 2 poles. So another really great thing about these is you're getting a 3/4 of an inch full aluminum pole. So super strong, really sturdy, and I expect them to just last a long time, be a really good feature to somebody that wants to have a tarp setup but doesn't want to carry trekking poles. So basically, guys, that is the Paria Outdoor Products adjustable tarp poles. These things are really cool, and knowing how Paria has been in the past with their products, it's really high quality, and the price is at a good point too. It's $50 for the 2 sets of poles, so really good price. I mean, that's basically the price of a decent pair of trekking poles, so that's something to think about. Depending on where I'm going or what the application is, I will take these with me if I want to have a lot more options of versatility in my tarp setup. Then I will absolutely take these with me. So Paria, you absolutely nailed it on the head on these. Super cool product, and definitely recommend them. Really, really neat. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hope you have an awesome day.